where the street ends. I always thought streets had an end, that when the asphalt runs out, something else begins. A field, a wall, a river, anything but this. It all started when I moved into the house at the end of Almost Street. It was cheap, too cheap, but I didn't have many options. The real estate agent was brief, almost like she didn't want to talk about it. "Oh, yes, but solid and quiet," she said, avoiding eye contact. The neighborhood was silent, a little isolated. Huge trees cast thick shadows even at midday, and there was a strange kind of quiet that never quite settled in my ears. I got used to it quickly, partly because I had to, and partly because I didn't want to think too much, but something felt off. At the very end of the street, right where my house sat, the sidewalk just vanished. The pavement faded into a small, dark curve where no streetlight reached. There was no gate, no dead-end sign. Just nothing. A boundary. The first time I saw her was at 3 in the morning. I'd woken up to the sound, like footsteps. I looked out the window and saw her there, standing at the edge of the street where the asphalt disappeared. She was blurry, barely visible, but she was still watching me. I couldn't see her face, but I could feel it. She told me, somehow, that I wasn't supposed to be there. She vanished when I blinked. I tried to forget, told myself it was a dream, or stress, or my imagination playing tricks. But the next night, she came again, and the next, always at the same time, always standing where the street stopped. Sometimes she stepped forward, other times back, but she never crossed that invisible line. I asked the neighbors what few would speak to me. One, an old man with a white beard and glassy eyes, whispered, "Where the street ends, what should return begins." "Excuse me," I asked. "The door. It only appears for the one who lives in the house, only when they're ready." That was all he'd say. No one else would even look at me. That night, fueled by a mix of courage and stupidity, I went outside. It was 2:58 a.m. She wasn't there yet. I walked toward the end of the street. With every step, the air grew heavier. When I reached the curve, the ground was no longer pavement. It was something else. Dark, soft like damp soil, but not soil. And there it was, a door, black wood, standing upright with no frame, no wall, glowing faintly with a red pulse. No handle, no keyhole, just there, beating like a heart. And behind it, something that wanted to come through. I backed away. I ran. I locked every door. For days, I didn't leave. I didn't sleep. But every night, the figure returned. Closer, clearer. It was a woman. Her face looked like ash suspended in the air, her skin drifting, held together by nothing. Her eyes were hollow, but they saw me. They called me. Then one night, she didn't show up. At first, I felt relief, then unease. I looked out the window. She was gone. But the door was still there, closer now, no longer at the edge of the street. It was in the yard. I don't remember falling asleep, but I woke up standing in front of it, in my robe, barefoot, my hands touching the wood. It was warm. Something was pulsing behind it. There was no sound, but my mind echoed with a single word, enter. I didn't. I ran back inside, locked every door, even the ones inside the house. I poured salt on the windows, a trick I found on a forum for people who talked about torn places. Weeks passed. The door disappeared. The figure didn't return. I thought it was over, until tonight. Something is calling from the hallway, and at the end of the hallway, the door is there, no longer outside. Now it's inside, and this time, it's open.